to give my yes to you today. I choose.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, the 16th of October, and here's some excellent coffee to start off the day. If you have your Bibles, turn to Genesis 31, verse 49 and 50. Genesis 31, 49 en 50. Laban was Jacob's father-in-law, and if you remember, Jacob had the name Deceiver, and he deceived his brother out of his inheritance and his blessing, and then he goes off and he falls in love with Laban's younger daughter. He works 7 years for her, and then gets married off to the older sister, and then has to work another 7 years and gets married off to Rachel, whom he loves. So he's deceived, and his father-in-law Laban is the one who does the deceiving. Now when he's busy leaving Laban and going off on his own, it's interesting that Laban says, look at verse 49, and Mizpah, we're going to call this place Gilead and Mizpah, for he said, may the Lord keep watch between you and me when we are absent one from the other. If you mistreat my daughters, or if you take wives besides my daughters, although no one is with us, see, God is witness between you and me. And it's always interesting that someone who has a character trait in themselves will see that and expect that and worry about that in someone else. It's called projecting. It's called that which I'm aware of in myself, I project onto you, and I make you what I am, and I treat you as if you thought the same way. I'm a deceiver. I deceived you in getting you to work for me for 14 years because of my daughter's situation, and I expect you to deceive me. And he puts in place Mizpah, which means high tower or watchtower. So he's saying God is going to be a watchtower over all that you do, even though I'm not with you. And think about it in two ways. Firstly, don't fall into the trap of projecting onto other people that which is in your own heart. If you're thinking of doing something that is awkward or wrong or negative, don't just automatically assume that other people are like you. Know yourself enough so that you can be comfortable in who you are, work with who you are, without painting everybody with the same brush you've been painted with. That's a very dangerous trait. See them for who they are. See their characteristics and their traits and their personality for who they are. The second thing is, it's good to know as we do life, because that God is with us, that God is witness to all that we do. And that's far more of dis meer van 'n briek of selfs 'n wedding ring, 'n troupand. Ons kan goed in ons lewe sit om ons te probeer herinner aan wat ons is en wat se beloftes ons gemaak het en hoe ons veronderstel is om te leef, maar ons kan daai goed maklik oorkyk, oorsien, wegsit, bære, vergeet, maar God is met ons die hele tyd. En allow God to be your high tower. Allow God to be the one who those bands that we used to wear, what would Jesus do? Know that God sees and is with you in every circumstance and situation. So remain true to your calling for God's sake. And I say that reverently this morning. You be true. Know who you are. Know your weaknesses. Know your strengths. Give your weaknesses to God and concentrate on building up your strengths. And allow God's will and God's presence to lead and guide you in all that you do. He's the high tower in our life. He's the constant presence that sees all, knows all. And don't lie to yourself. Don't fool others. Be real to who you are, where you're at, and what you're busy with. Remember, I always say, God came into the Garden of Eden and he said, Adam, where are you? And then basically he said, what are you doing? What are you up to? Remember that God is with us, and he's saying, Sean, where are you? And waarmee is jy besig? What are you busy with? allow that to just direct your thinking this wonderful day that the Lord's given us to be a blessing to others in.